Hey Flunky Force, it's Gang Flunky here, and today we're going to be doing the Technomancer again for episode 3. We're going to go about this a little bit differently because we've already finished the initiation with the beginning quest, and now we're going to hit fighting for abundance and finding Earth. And I figured, and somebody brought it to my attention, because it's an RPG, there's going to be a lot of quests. So instead of me just going through walkthrough after walkthrough, I'm going to hit all the side quests and main quests and skip all the little meat in between unless I need to show you some fighting or something significant that might pertain to the quest line. I'm going to try to get through all that so you can get like short, complete, pocket-sized videos of what you need to do to get through the game. So without further ado, let's delve into the first quest called Finding Earth. Now you'll see in the minimap I have it blown up and slowed down for you. On the right-hand side, you'll see 2 diamonds with an exclamation point in the middle. That's where your quest starts for Finding Earth, to find the merchant. When you approach the area, you'll see that no one's there, and your character will acknowledge that fact. Walk forward and do what I did. Spin around for 3 seconds until he finds that the merchant ain't there. I'm not the brightest player, okay? Walk over to this man. He'll eventually tell you that there's some shady shit that happened and somebody kidnapped him. Eventually, that'll lead you to going around searching for other people that have witnessed the abduction or the problem. Okay, so here I'm going to slow it down for you and give you a little understanding of how to look for this. You see the question mark in the middle? That says people in the area might have information to a quest you are doing. Necessarily doesn't mean that you're going to talk to a merchant, which you're going to do for this quest, like this guy. What it means is there are people in the area that you might not have would have talked to because they're not merchants or they're not important. You should try and look around because a button or an icon up here above their head, you click that, and they normally starts them giving you information to a quest you're doing that pertains to that question mark. Now, this guy's going to tell you that they ran into trouble with the Vori. Now, the Vori are the mafia ran by a man named Anton Rogue. Now, real quick synopsis, Rogues are another branch of the caste system, like Mancer and Technomancers. Seeker is people like seek knowledge, and doctors, things of that nature. Rogues are like your rogues, your mafia, your thugs, things of that nature. Pretty much what he's saying is the merchants kind of got in an argument or a spat with Anton and his men. Anton had them captured and taken to a warehouse. That's pretty much what he delves into about it. Thing you need to keep in mind too is though, when you do this quest, I highly recommend go find Scott Seeker, which I didn't actually deleted that part, but he's inside the slums. So look around. He's inside his. Look for the icon that lets you change your companions around. It's in there in the slums. All right, when you come into this area, the man's gonna ask you for a. What you're doing here, whatever. You have options of giving a pass or force your way in or come back later. Now, real quick, I slowed it down to you right here. You can actually give them the pass, but you obtain them from beating up the Vori's men and picking the pass up off their dead bodies or knockout bodies. Force your way, come back later, give the hall pass. What else? And like I said, you can pick this off the Vori guys that you beat the shit out of.
You can come in even though you're dressed like you stole it from one of our guys.
Wow, aren't you a smart one? And this right here is the notorious Anton Rogue.
Look what the cat dragged in. Prodigal son. A diamond in the rough, risen from poor street trash to the godlike ranks of Technomancer. Now tell me, why am I so lucky to be in your presence?
Regarding the merchants, yep.
I'm looking for a caravan of merchants. They were supposed to be in the exchange. Word is they were escorted to the slums, and you may know something about it.
Yeah, rude little men. My town, my streets. Uninvited competition who lack even the common decency to offer a little token of grace in exchange for their presence. If you're ready to settle their debts, I'd be happy to usher them back home.
I'll use charisma, I'm broke.
These merchants were involved in some outside business that requires interrogation as soon as possible. You can either help me find them, or we can always turn our attention towards your business affairs. Your call, Anton.
So either I turn a blind eye, or you do. Fair enough. Very well. Let's be magnanimous and hope that you will be too. You will find your suspects in one of our warehouses. Go see the guards and tell them, he who profits will deserve honor. They will give you the keys. Business is business, and now that ours is done, I will trust in your discretion.
Now here's the thing. You saw the 75% chance of succeeding, right?
Then go.
That can fail though. It's not like an automatic after 50. I know some games like after 50% it automatically wins for you. No. Either you get it right or you don't. It's 75% is 75%. So there's 25% chance you will fail. A lot of people didn't know that, but a lot of games when you see 50% chance or above, it means it's automatically going to let you win. Which is kind of stupid.
I need the keys to the building.
Oh, yeah?
And they're over. Hey guys, alright, look to the left side. You'll see a white man behind a square. Directly across from it to the right is a diamond with an exclamation point in the middle of it. That's the warehouse where the merchant is located that Ian Mancer told you to go look for. Once you open the door, when it gets done loading like Windows 98, there you go. You'll go in, talk to the merchant. The merchant will then give you a backstory of what he came across about Aurora, and I won't go into it because they neither have sound, and I don't want to ruin it for you. I don't want you to experience it if you're playing. Once you get done talking to him, you'll then head back to Ian Mancer, which will be the next clip I show you of me telling you about that because, yeah. Ian's over here in the chapel. Ian Mancer. I don't know why I call him Master. Ian Mancer, the Grandmaster. He's over here at the chapel, so go there. So, where you go down is these steps, you make a left, and you go over here, you can't miss, is a giant church. I mean, that to the left is a giant church, but nonetheless. Alright, here we go. Turn it.
Zachariah, a pleasure as always. What may I do for you?
I finally managed to meet the merchants you told me about. It wasn't easy. The mob kidnapped them for serum. I freed them before talking to them.
I'm sure gratitude helped to loosen their lips. So what knowledge was gleaned from such lengths?
Word that Aurora is running large-scale excavations along the shadow paths near our territory, and in the process uncovering important objects, maybe even a relic.
Fascinating. Finds that are no doubt better off in our hands than those of Aurora's Technomancers. Keep those merchants close, Zachariah. Information like that is such a priceless commodity. You are no more free to roam than the rest of us. Of that I have no doubt. But if you find yourself with access to a rover, and perhaps find a way to that excavation site and locate the relic, well, you cannot know the value it might hold if brought back to us. It may seem petty. It's a mission for some rusty relic that may or may not even exist. However, if you are able to slip away from Ophir...
Alright, so basically, we will never do that. Not willingly. Oh yeah, this is where Scott's at. That's all I forgot.
My boy, I have a favor to ask you.
What'd you lose?
I mentioned one thing. Oh, I am sorry. In fact, it's about a friend. Charles? You remember Charles? No, you can't remember. Believe me, you've never met him. Anyway, Charles is a friend. A scientist cobra. He was way more successful than I must say. So, he's a friend, and I lost him. It looks like he disappeared, and I am a bit worried. I know that he was doing some sensitive research. Important. Maybe he ran into problems because of that. Anyhow, it's hard to tell.
How do you want me to find him?
He has an assistant. Very nice. She used to make delicious pastries. Unless I'm mixing her up with someone else. Anyway, he had an assistant. I'm pretty sure of it.
I'll go find her. She must know what happened to him. And if she does, it'll turn out the professor is just at a conference somewhere.
Maybe. It's true I don't get invited to conferences as often as I used to. It's rather unfair. I used to love the cocktails they serve.
Always tell about your companions. You can set them up. Alright, so the location of Chelsea Seeker is pretty easy. Pretty easy. Anyway. So basically to the left you'll see the rover symbol and the anvil and hammer symbol. She's directly right to the right of that in the back. You'll see a symbol that leads out to the underworks. If you look at that up to the north where I'm moving this camera around, you'll see that's where she's located.
Hey there, I'm looking for Charles Seeker. You know where I can find him?
And you are?
Zachariah Mancer. Professor and I have a mutual friend who's worried about her.
I know the feeling. Haven't seen him for days. I'm Veronica Seeker, the professor's assistant.
It's not his wife, by the way. Remember, guys, your last name defines your class and what job you do. Seekers are usually doctors and scientists.
Sleep. Said it just wasted time. Even more than likely in the middle of the research he was doing.
Yeah, seems a bit off, doesn't it? Professor was supposed to start some research with a friend of mine as well.
I might fail this.
I'm sure he'd already started work on it before leaving. You know anything about it?
Of course.
Oh, I made it.
I was involved with the professor's research, though I shouldn't discuss it with anyone without his consent. But with that last name, Mancer, I suppose this technomancy research is of particular interest to you. Otherwise, most people barely bat an eye towards the scientific aspects of technomancer powers.
If you're concerned that the message wasn't really from the professor, did you report his disappearance?
To the authorities? Of course not. The authorities, Mr. Mancer, have far more pertinent issues than this, which I'm sure will work itself out in time. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Veronica, I know I'm not exactly a prime physical specimen, but I should hope that I am still not so forgettable. Unless I'm wrong and we do not know each other, what is, after all,
Look at her. She made. I love that.
life?
Like they're like looking at him.
It might all just be a
He looks all creepy in the light, though.
like the one I had last night, where trying to wear my pants as a shirt, I found my nose got caught in the zipper.
Professor Scott. Oh my. Hello.
Damn,
I
woman.
am so sorry I did not recognize you.
I
You
guess
should
she
have
ain't
told
married
me
to the other
earlier to save
scientists.
me from this embarrassment. Was it you who was planning the collaboration on the Technomancer research? I'm afraid the professor's vocal railings against the ASC and their ceaseless power grabs might have finally come back to bite him. He would even preach to his colleagues and the listeners at conferences. I would give anything to be wrong, of course, but hope is oftentimes incongruous with reality we must come to face.
Yeah, you can get fatigue if you don't rest. I don't know where the fatigue bar is at, guys. That's the one thing that still stumps me. Alright, so anyway, that's that quest. I just talked to Charles, I think.
Hi, Scott.
Hello, my boy.
Guess not anywhere. Oh, I know what I gotta do. I know what I gotta do. Alright.
Zachariah, could you... Anyway, could I talk to you in private?
We're in the middle of a street,
going on?
sure.
I know that I'm asking a lot from you, but I was wondering if maybe you could continue to investigate. You are someone important now. You know a lot of people. They can tell you if Veronica's suspicions are justified.
I can probably talk about it with my captain, or tap into some contacts in the know.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I want to be sure, you see. I think that you need to recover his latest research. I strongly believe that, besides what he said, he found something dangerous. The ASC, they're thugs. We must not allow sensitive scientific research to fall into their hands. The risks are too high.
I'll see what I can do, but I doubt that Veronica will give me Charles's documents willingly. She's very protective of her boss's work.
Alright. Pretty much the quest starts here. When you talk to her, just keep that in mind.
Getting into politics. Politics has no place in the science.
And then I think
It's such a...
The professor is, besides the guys who made
is
it
in pretty much in the
disappear,
middle of the city.
it's this guy right here. Anton Rogue, who knows everything and everyone in Ophir.
All right. Yes, yes.
Alright, then just talk to him. Or he's one of the people you gotta check it out with.
Mr. Mancer,
Skip all this.
Professor Charles Seeker. I'm looking for what happened to him. What can you tell me?
the dangers of having a mind, of using it, and especially of speaking it, I'm afraid. His research and political opinions push the line, and patience of some. Funny how smart and wise don't always go hand in hand. That said, word is he boarded a train. Not so much a pleasure trip, more like a forced hiatus given the military escort and the colonel's re-education camp he was bound for. No matter the power of the mind, the power of a gun always seems to gain the upper hand in the end, don't you think?
We gotta go back to talk to her.
Veronica, I need a favor. I'm looking for access to the professor's compiled research documents. Might be a big help to me.
It's just not my work to share, Zachariah. If he came back, I don't think he'd be too pleased to find out I handed it away. You ever find out what happened to him?
From what I could gather, he was arrested and thrown into the correctional camp. Apparently his criticism of the government was more important to them than his work. The times we live in, I guess.
I don't even know what to... Such a loss. A waste. Maybe his work shouldn't be abandoned. if he's not coming back anytime soon, or at all, and you can do good with it.
Now that you're done with that quest, you can go meet Captain Eliza Major, which is located right next to the chapel for the Technomancers.
Our mission just came in, and it's aimed at smothering regime opposition. According to the intel the ASC gave us, those terrorists live in the slums and are plotting several attacks to undermine our corporation. Your mission is to infiltrate the terrorists, stop the attacks, and find your way to their leader, Bulgakov. Orders are to capture Bulgakov alive. We're going to drain him for intel about other terrorist cells and dismantle the entire network. So beat him only as much as you need to take him.
You got it, Captain.
Move quickly. The longer you take, the more risk there is to the citizens of Ophir. And I won't have that. Before you go, though, there's one more mission. One requiring speed and discretion. We have deserters in our ranks, Lieutenant. Deserters planning to flee like rats through the city's underground. That won't happen. Do you understand me? You find them, and you eliminate them, each and every one. That seems harsh to you. Setbacks against Aurora have ruined our reputation, to the point that every action we take is scrutinized and extorted by those seeking to gain from our fall. A mass desertion would spell scandal if it became public. You catch them before any word of their escape comes out. So move, now. You only have a few hours.
Alright, so if you go through right here, this big open area, keep moving straight ahead. They're pretty much right around the corner. Then you just go here. The best way to know if you're in the right area is to look to your left, is the rover symbol. That thing looks like a little truck tank thing. Yeah, you know you're close. Then like find the deserters. Now after you get done fighting these guys, head behind them, proceed down into the red door. Then go into the cavern, and from the back, from where you entered, that little hexagonal symbol is where you came in at. Once you come to that big open area right there, you go up to the left side, go around through this area, and head to the back, and that's where your quest is for the deserters.
So you got me, Mancer. Good for you. How much blood did you spill along the way? You're nothing more than a lackey for abundance. At some point, we've all felt the way you do about abundance. But they just take and take until we're all used up. We are tired and want out. But they send you, another loyal dog, to drag us back. I fought my whole life for them. Today, for once, I'm gonna fight for myself.
All right then, let's do this.
Stop! Let me go. I am not your enemy. All I want is to...
Get the hell out. Don't ever show your face here again, and you can keep your life.
Hugh, I owe you my life, Mancer. I will never forget that. For as long as I live. Goodbye.
Now I'm going in a little bit different direction because I want to see. Hey guys, what's up? It's Game Flunkie here. Real quick, we're done with the desertion quest line. We're gonna start Eliza's other one, which was to find the bomb supposedly being planted by the opposition / rebels. Just bear in mind the quest officially starts out in the I keep saying exchange in the slums. And that's where the video is going to pick up at. I kind of missed the whole getting there part. Basically, get into the slums and then follow my directions, and I'll get you to the guy that'll lead you right to where everything starts. Yep, I think that's it, guys. Good luck and have fun. Okay, I don't know, but it's just in the middle of the map, pretty much. So go there. Once you come here, there should be... Where's he at? Because I know I just saw him over here. I think he's on this side. All right, so... You see this merchant right here? Walk right past him. Talk to this guy. Or you could talk to Anton if you got high enough charisma. But this is pretty much the easiest way to do it.
Sensitive info about a certain group of citizens.
I don't know what you're talking about. All I want is a little syrup.
Come on. I'm sure that you see everything that goes on here. I'm looking for people plotting an awful attack. You've heard people talking about sabotage from someone named Bulgakov?
No, not right off, but maybe, you know, a bit of serum might help jog the memory. Help me remember. You know.
There you go.
Here.
Thank you, my lord. Yeah, those saboteurs, citizens that you're looking for, they often get together to talk, looking shadier than bulls at a china shop. And the name Bulgakov is always a hot topic. I don't know what they're plotting, but they talk and talk, and always more or less around the same spot. Not too smart, in my opinion. They're always hanging out in front of the curiosities. It's not very discreet to meet in front of a bar, huh? Anyway, that's their problem. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to get some food.
Those terrorists aren't even hiding. Meeting up right in front of the curiosities? They really think we're morons. Or maybe they're the morons.
It's become almost impossible to go through the underworld without bumping into one of those monsters.
I'm so convinced that I can't remember that experience in particular, but I think that it involves.
Scott, you better be discreet. Even though those opponents are reckless, they run away, making noise while we get closer to them. Rebels are close. I need to get closer.
Alright, so this is Curiosity's bar right there.
Keep discreet and stay hidden.
So hit L3, walk over, you'll see whispers pop up, and they're right here on the outside. And then...
Where's the next action going down? You heard anything?
Operation Cut's going off in a few hours. Bulgakov's taking care of it. Taking a bomb down to the train station in one of those military bags. With all the troops moving around the area, nobody'll even look twice.
Fucking regime won't be able to ignore us after that. Freedom or death, right?
Alright guys, when you get done, talk to the beggar, and he leads you on to the men that are supposedly talking about planting the bomb. You'll leave there and come out of the slums into the exchange where you'll run into resistance. Get done with this little fighting in this area, then I want you to look at your map once I get done showing it. But basically, depending on where you came out at, there's pretty much a general sense. But anyway, when you come out, look at the map, look to the north, and then follow either the left road or the right road. But I took the right road, gone all the way up, made a left, and that's the station where the bomb's being planted. Head there. On the way, you're going to run into some resistance and fighting, but it should be easy if you got the right team set up.
Leave this bag, please.
It belongs to you? Yeah, I figured, but I was expecting.
A man? Sorry to disappoint. But since you're here, minding my business, maybe I should introduce myself. I'm Bulgakov, one of the leaders of the opposition army. You gonna arrest me now?
Arrest you and take that bomb before it does any harm to the city.
You don't have a damn clue, do you, officer? That bomb was never meant for the city. This is our city, too. It was meant to take out the access roads to the city, to block the army convoys. It's time this fratricidal war finally came to an end. You think we're fighting for Aurora? You're wrong, officer. The opposition is made of patriots, and the war we're losing is making the true patriots weaker, while the politicians and their secret police grow stronger.
You're no patriot. A patriot would let her voice be heard at the assembly of the people, not set off bombs in the city she claims to love.
You couldn't possibly be that naive, could you, officer? Ask around. See if you can find just one person who dared to speak up at your precious assembly and is still around to talk. The only voice ever heard from is the Watchers. The rest are silenced, and will continue to be until only the ASC agents remain. Stay suspicious of me. It's your right. But I don't lie, officer. I'd never hurt the people on purpose. I only ever wanted to free them. Let me. Don't stand in my way, because it's the only road to a better abundance.
I hope I'm doing the right thing. Go on. Go. But leave the bomb. I trust you enough, but not that much.
I hear you. Thanks. And goodbye, officer. Beware the Watchers.
Companions.
You already back, Lieutenant Zachariah?
Captain, report.
Go ahead, Lieutenant.
The insurgency's been quelled.
What about this pain in my ass, Bulgakov?
Let me start with the good news. We stopped Bulgakov at the station before they set off their explosives. Bad news? She slipped away before we could grab her.
Starting with the good news doesn't make it any less of a failure, Lieutenant. The ASC's gonna try to rip us a new asshole over this. But the fact that they said Bulgakov was a man and not a woman might give us a bit of ammo to fire back with. I'm still pissed, but there's no telling how many lives you saved today. So go find Quartermaster Ryan and collect your pay. Let's keep the fuck-ups to a minimum, though, going forward. Only so many times I'll be able to cover your ass with the ASC.
Captain, report.
Yes, Lieutenant.
Rest assured, potential scandal's been abolished. Everything's in order. We managed to neutralize most. Some, unfortunately, escaped.
Then you didn't act quickly enough. It should have been your priority, Lieutenant. Because of your failures, all we can do now is hope that the word doesn't spread. What was the fate of the sergeant in charge of the group?
Sergeant Boris?
I'll say escape, because if this comes back to bite me in the ass.
He, unfortunately, escaped.
Oh boy.
I
Oh
expected
Lord.
more of you, Mancer. Now we have a problem. He's probably far away enough from Ophir, but we're under tight surveillance, and if this escape comes to light,
Ooh, this is
won't get
rough.
any congratulations from me. But you can go get your pay from the quartermaster. Let's not make failure a habit, please.
Oh, this could bite me in the ass.
Good. Moving on. We have new missions. Bit of a welcome change from the big chases. We've got state officials arriving in Ophir today, and an ASC warning that an influx of Aurora spies in the city are planning trouble. For security, the officials will be picked up in rovers outside the city and brought to the hangars, rather than coming through the station. We've got brigades tracking the spies, but you're gonna have to usher them through the slums and make sure they get to our quarters safely. No excuses. No failures. We clear? Questions, Lieutenant?
When you get done with Eliza's quest, any of them that she assigns to you, as far as when you're with her, she'll tell you to go get your rewards or your payment for the quartermaster, which is this man right here. I'm gonna leave it here for right now, and I'll upload another video tomorrow once this one gets done. But what else was I gonna tell you guys? I'll have all the description about the video, like the different quests, where they're at, and or at least what time they start at in the video, so you don't have to like watch the whole thing. I'll try to get better at this. I know I screwed up today with the audio, but I try to make it as as informative as possible. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed it, and like and subscribe if you did. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.